My fiancé said softly. Maybe we shouldn't wear the ring around my coworkers. It looks forced. I nodded. Okay. I didn't argue. I didn't explain. At the next family gathering, she noticed something missing from my hand, and that's when everything stopped. I'm 29, been engaged for 7 months to someone I've been with for 3 years. We met through a dating app, clicked immediately, moved fast. She works in corporate sales, I'm in data analysis. We got engaged last year on her birthday because she'd been dropping hints for months, and I wanted to make her happy. The proposal wasn't perfect, just a nice dinner and the ring I'd saved up for, but she said yes and posted it all over social media within minutes. The comment about the ring happened 2 weeks ago. We were getting ready for her company's holiday party. I was adjusting my tie when she walked out of the bathroom, makeup done, dress on, looking beautiful. I slipped my engagement ring on, simple silver band, nothing flashy, and grabbed my keys. Wait, she said, not looking at me directly. Maybe we shouldn't wear the ring around my coworkers tonight. I stopped. What? The engagement ring. Maybe just leave it home? For tonight. Why would I do that? She fiddled with her own ring, twisting it around her finger. It's just, people at my work are weird about relationships. And you wearing a ring when we're not married yet. It looks, I don't know, forced? Like we're trying too hard. I stood there, keys in hand, trying to process what she was saying. Forced. You know what I mean. Like we're making a statement or something. Can we just keep it low-key tonight? You want me to take off my engagement ring because it looks like we're trying too hard to be engaged? Don't twist my words. I just think it'll be easier if we don't advertise it. My coworkers can be judgmental. I nodded slowly. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I slipped the ring off, set it on the dresser. Let's go. The party was fine. She introduced me to her colleagues as her boyfriend. Not her fiancé, just boyfriend. I smiled, shook hands, made small talk. One guy asked how long we'd been together. She said, a couple years, like it was nothing special. I nodded along. On the drive home, she seemed relieved. Kept talking about how well it went, how her boss liked me, how glad she was we came. I said almost nothing. When we got home, I went straight to the bedroom, put my ring back on, and went to sleep. The next morning, she didn't mention it. Neither did I. But something shifted. I started noticing things I'd ignored before. How she never posted about us anymore. How her coworkers didn't seem to know we were engaged. How she'd introduced me as her boyfriend for months, even after we got engaged. I didn't say anything. Just watched. Waited. Let things unfold naturally. 3 days later, her family invited us to Sunday dinner. Her parents, her brother and his wife, her sister. We went. I wore my ring like always. She wore hers too, like nothing was wrong. Except I didn't. I left my ring at home. Deliberately. Slipped it off before we left and put it in the same spot where she'd asked me to leave it for her work party. We arrived at her parents' house around 5. Her mom hugged us both. Her dad shook my hand, standard family greeting. We settled into the living room for pre-dinner drinks. Her sister was showing off photos from her recent vacation. Her brother was talking about his promotion at work. Normal family chaos. Her mom asked about wedding planning. Have you two picked a date yet? We're still figuring it out, my fiancé said, glancing at me. Right, I agreed. Taking our time. That's smart, her dad said. No need to rush. We moved to the dining room. Her mom had made a whole spread, roast chicken, potatoes, vegetables, homemade bread. Everyone filled their plates, passed dishes around, talked over each other. Typical family dinner. That's when her sister noticed. Wait, where's your ring? The table went quiet. My fiancé looked at me, then at my left hand, bare and obvious. Her face went pale. Where's your ring? Her sister repeated, louder this time. I left it at home, I said calmly, cutting into my chicken. Why? Didn't want it to look forced. The silence stretched. Her mom set down her fork. Her dad stopped mid-chew. Her brother and sister-in-law exchanged glances. My fiancé stared at me like I'd grown a second head. What does that mean? Her mom asked carefully. It means I didn't want to advertise our engagement. Thought it might be easier to keep things low-key around family. You know, so it doesn't look like we're trying too hard. My fiancé's face went from pale to red. Can we talk in the kitchen? Sure. We excused ourselves. I followed her into the kitchen, where she closed the door and turned on me. What the hell are you doing? I'm not wearing my ring. Like you asked. I asked you not to wear it to my work party. Not to family dinner. Not to take it off everywhere. You said it looked forced. I'm just applying that logic consistently. That's not. This is different. This is my family. And your work party was your coworkers. What's the difference? The difference is, she stopped, struggled to find words. You're being petty. I'm being consistent. You didn't want me wearing my ring around your coworkers because it looked like we were trying too hard. I'm extending that same courtesy to your family. Don't want them thinking we're forcing anything either. You know that's not what I meant. Then explain what you meant. Because from where I'm standing, you're embarrassed to have people know we're engaged. And I'm just respecting that. I'm not embarrassed. Then why do you introduce me as your boyfriend at the party? Why do your coworkers not know we're engaged? Why does the idea of me wearing a ring around them make you uncomfortable? She opened her mouth, closed it, opened it again. It's complicated at work. Complicated how? There's someone, she stopped herself. It's just complicated. There's someone what? Nothing. Never mind. Can we please just go back to dinner and you put your ring back on? I don't have it. I left it at home. Like you did with your comfort level about our engagement. I walked out of the kitchen, back to the dining room. Her family was still sitting there in uncomfortable silence. I sat down, picked up my fork, resumed eating like nothing happened. Update 1. She didn't come back to the table for 5 minutes. When she did, her eyes were red. She sat down, didn't look at anyone, pushed food around her plate. Her mom tried to restart conversation, asking her brother about his promotion. It limped along for a few minutes before dying again. Finally, her dad cleared his throat. Son, is everything all right with you too? I don't know, I said honestly. You'd have to ask her. Her head snapped up. Don't put this on me. I'm not putting anything on you. I'm just being honest. I don't know if we're all right. Do you? We're fine. You're making a scene over nothing. I'm making a scene? I'm sitting here eating dinner. You're the one who dragged me into the kitchen to yell at me for doing exactly what you asked. I didn't ask you to take off your ring everywhere. You asked me to take it off around people because it looked forced. I'm just following through. Her sister jumped in. Wait, she asked you not to wear your engagement ring. At her work party, I confirmed. Said it looked like we were trying too hard. So I took it off. And now you're not wearing it anywhere? Her mom asked, concern creeping into her voice. Just being consistent. Wouldn't want anyone to think we're forcing our engagement. My fiancé stood abruptly. I need air. She walked out the back door into the yard. Her mom followed immediately. Through the window, I could see them talking. Her mom with her arms crossed. My fiancé gesturing wildly, clearly upset. Her dad excused himself and joined them. That left me at the table with her siblings. Dude, what's really going on? Her brother asked quietly. Honestly, I think she's having second thoughts about the engagement. Or she's keeping me hidden from someone at work. Or both. And I'm tired of pretending everything's fine. She asked you not to wear your ring? Her sister-in-law asked, disbelief clear. Yep. Said it looked forced. So I'm respecting her wishes. That's insane, her sister said. Why would she stopped. Wait. There's a guy at her work. She mentioned him a few times. Some new manager she's been working with on a big account. My stomach dropped, but my face stayed neutral. Tell me about him. I don't know much. Just that she talks about him a lot. Says he's really good at his job, really driven. She's been staying late a lot for this account they're working on together. How late? I don't know, but more than usual. She mentioned grabbing dinner after work a few times. Said it was work dinners, but... She trailed off, glancing at her brother. But you didn't think it was just work? I finished. I mean, I don't know. I didn't want to assume anything. The back door opened. Her parents came in first, faces serious. My fiancé followed, mascara smudged. I think we should go, she said to me. Now. Okay. I stood, thanked her parents for dinner. They looked devastated. Her mom hugged me longer than normal. Her dad shook my hand with both of his. The drive home was silent. She stared out the window. I drove carefully, mind racing but face calm. Update 2. When we got home, she went straight to the bedroom. I heard drawers opening and closing. She came out with a bag. I'm staying at my sister's tonight. Okay. That's it. Just okay. What do you want me to say? I want you to fight for this. To fight for us. Fight for what? You won't even wear your ring around your coworkers. You introduced me as your boyfriend, not your fiancé. You're embarrassed of being engaged to me. What exactly am I fighting for? I'm not embarrassed. Then what's his name? She froze. What? The manager. The guy you've been working late with. What's his name? I don't. How do you? Your sister told me. At dinner. While you were outside. She sank onto the couch. Nothing's happened. I didn't ask if something happened. I asked his name. She didn't answer. You asked me not to wear my ring because of him, didn't you? Because you didn't want him to know you're engaged. It's not like that. Then what's it like? Explain it to me. Because from where I'm sitting, you've been keeping our engagement secret from your work, introducing me as just a boyfriend, staying late with some guy, and asking me to hide my ring. What am I missing? I like the attention, she said finally, voice small. From him. And from other people at work. I like feeling wanted and pursued. And wearing a ring, having you wear a ring, it kills that feeling. Makes it real. Makes me unavailable. The honesty hit like a punch. At least it was honest. So you're not ready to be engaged? I don't know. I thought I was. But then he started working there, and I don't know. I'm confused. Have you kissed him? No. Have you wanted to? She didn't answer. Which was an answer. I'm going to make this really simple for you, I said. You have until Friday to decide what you want. If you want this engagement, you tell him you're engaged, and you start wearing your ring at work and everywhere else. If you don't want this engagement, you give me the ring back. But I'm not going to sit around being your secret backup plan while you figure out if some guy at work is better than me. That's not fair. Fair? You asked me to hide my ring because you wanted to keep flirting with your coworker. Fair went out the window weeks ago. She grabbed her bag. I need space to think. You've got until Friday. She left. The apartment felt bigger without her. Quieter. I sat on the couch for an hour, just processing. Then I took off my engagement ring, put it in its original box, and set it on the kitchen counter where she'd see it if she came back. I wasn't taking it off to prove a point anymore. I was taking it off because I meant it. Update 3. She didn't come back Monday. Or Tuesday. She texted Wednesday morning. Can we talk? I called her. Yeah. I've been thinking a lot. About us. About what I want. And I think I got caught up in the idea of getting engaged more than actually being ready for marriage. And when this guy started paying attention to me, it felt exciting in a way we haven't felt in a while. Okay. I think we moved too fast. Got engaged before we were really ready. Are you breaking up with me? She was quiet for a long time. I don't know. I don't want to lose you. But I also don't know if I'm ready to be engaged. And that's not fair to you. No, it's not. So what do? You come get your ring. We call off the engagement. And you figure out what you actually want. Just like that. Just like that. You said it yourself. You're not ready. I'm not going to force you to be ready. And I'm not going to wait around while you figure it out. What if I figure it out and want you back? Then we'll see where I am when that happens. She came by Thursday evening. I had her ring in its box on the counter. She walked in, saw it, started crying. I'm so sorry. I know. I really did love you. Past tense already? I don't know what tense to use. I'm so confused. That's the problem. You shouldn't be confused about wanting to marry someone. You should be sure. She picked up the box, opened it, looked at the ring. Can we try again someday? When I'm ready. Maybe. But I won't wait for someday. If you leave now, I'm moving on. So you need to be really sure this is what you want. She closed the box. I think it is. I think I need to figure myself out before I can be married to anyone. Then good luck with that. She left with the ring. I watched her car drive away and felt relief. Not sadness. Not anger. Just relief that I didn't have to pretend anymore. Final update. It's been 3 months. She texted me a few times in the first month, saying she missed me, asking how I was doing. I kept responses short. I'm good. Hope you're doing well. Her sister reached out 2 months in. Said my ex had started dating the coworker officially. They were apparently taking it slow after her engagement ended. Her sister apologized for her sister's behavior, said she was disappointed in her. I appreciated it, but told her not to worry about it. What's done is done. I've been on a few dates. Nothing serious yet. Still figuring out what I want in a partner. But I know what I don't want. Someone who's embarrassed of being engaged to me. Someone who hides our relationship because someone else might pay attention to them. The ring thing taught me something important. When someone asks you to hide a symbol of your commitment because it looks forced, they're really saying the commitment itself feels forced to them. They're not ready. And no amount of waiting or compromising will make them ready. I don't regret taking off my ring at her family's dinner. It forced an honest conversation we'd been avoiding for months. It exposed what we both already knew but were too scared to say. She wasn't ready to be engaged, and I wasn't willing to beg someone to want to marry me. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do is call someone's bluff. She asked me to hide my ring, so I did, everywhere. And in doing so, I showed both of us what we were really doing, hiding from the truth. I heard through mutual friends that her relationship with the coworker didn't last. They broke up after 2 months. She reached out again last week, asking if we could get coffee and talk. I haven't responded yet. Not sure if I will. Part of me wants to see if she's grown, if she's ready now. But a bigger part of me remembers standing in her family's kitchen, listening to her struggle to explain why she was embarrassed of our engagement. That feeling doesn't just go away because time passes. Maybe someday I'll grab that coffee with her. Maybe I'll hear her out. But right now, I'm okay being alone. Better alone than engaged to someone who treats the engagement like a secret. The ring sits in my drawer now. I kept it even though she gave hers back. Sometimes I look at it and remember what it represented, a promise I was ready to keep that she wasn't ready to receive. That's not a failure on my part. That's just honesty arriving late to the party. And honestly, I'm grateful it arrived when it did. Better before the wedding than after.